What was the purpose of this hearing if we've reached the point now where we really don't know what she thinks about any issues, any major issues?
Do you agree with Justice Scalia's view that Roe was wrongly decided?
Senator, I completely understand why you are asking the question, but again, I can't pre-commit or say, yes, I'm going in with some agenda, because I'm not.
Do you think that the president has the power to pardon himself for any past or future crimes he may have committed against the United States of America?
Well, Senator Booker, that would be a legal question. That would be a constitutional question. And so in keeping with my obligation not to give hints, previews, or forecasts of how I would resolve the case, that's not one that I can answer.
Your legal position, IVF treatment, and I'm not going to ask again, just this last time, criminalizing it,
Well,
would it be constitutional? I think there's a clear answer.
but Senator, I've repeatedly said, as has every other nominee who sat in this seat, that we can't answer questions in the abstract.
Do you agree with him that Griswold was wrongly decided, and thus states should be able to make it illegal to use contraceptives if they so chose?
Well, Senator, as I've said a number of times, I can't express a view, yes or no, A+ or F. In my other capacity, I get to grade, but not in this particular capacity with respect to precedent.
Do you think it's wrong to separate children from their parents to deter immigrants from coming to the United States?
Well, Senator Booker, that's been a matter of policy debate, and, obviously that's a matter of hot political debate in which I can't express a view or be drawn into as a judge.
Last week, a contractor from outside of my state of Minnesota started recruiting poll watchers with special forces experience to protect polling locations in my state. This was clear voter intimidation. Judge Barrett, under federal law, is it illegal to intimidate voters at the polls?
Senator Klobuchar, I can't characterize the facts in a hypothetical situation, and I can't apply the law to a hypothetical set of facts. I can only decide cases as they come to me, litigated by parties on a full record after fully engaging precedent, talking to colleagues, writing an opinion. And so I can't answer questions like that.
Okay, well, I'll make it easier. 18 U.S.C. 594 outlaws anyone who intimidates, threatens, coerces, or attempts to intimidate, threaten, or coerce any other person for the purpose of interfering with the right of such other person to vote. This is a law that has been on the books for decades.
Do you accept that COVID-19 is infectious?
I think, yes, I do accept that COVID-19 is infectious.
Do you accept that smoking causes cancer? Yes or no?
Senator Harris, yes, every package of cigarettes warns that smoking causes cancer.
And do you believe that climate change is happening and is threatening the air we breathe and the water we drink?
You have asked me a series of questions that are completely uncontroversial, like whether COVID-19 is infectious, whether smoking causes cancer, and then trying to analogize that to eliciting an opinion on me that is a very contentious matter, opinion from me that is on a very contentious matter of public debate. And I will not do that. I will not express a view on a matter of public policy, especially one that is politically controversial, because that's inconsistent with the judicial role, as I have explained.
Do you agree with originalists who say that the Medicare program is unconstitutional?
Well, let's see. So I think I can't answer that question in the abstract.
Do you feel like you should recuse yourself from that case because you're being nominated by President Trump?
Well, Senator, recusal itself is a legal issue, so that's not a question that I could answer in the abstract.
So
We're in the middle of a global pandemic that is forcing voters to choose between their health and their vote. Are absentee ballots, or better known as mail-in ballots, an essential way to vote for millions of Americans right now?
That's a matter of policy on which I can't express a view.
Okay. To me, that just feels like a fundamental part of our democracy, but okay.
Does the Constitution give the President of the United States the authority to unilaterally delay a general election under any circumstances? Does federal law?
Well, Senator, if that question ever came before me, I would need to hear arguments from the litigants and read briefs and consult with my law clerks and talk to my colleagues and go through the opinion writing process.
Prior to your nomination, were you aware of President Trump's statements committing to nominate judges who will strike down the Affordable Care Act? And I'd appreciate a yes or no answer, please.
Well, Senator Harris, I want to be very, very careful. I'm under oath. As I'm sitting here, I don't recall seeing those statements, but I don't recall seeing or hearing those statements, but I don't really know what context they were in, so I guess I can't really definitively give you a yes or no answer. What I would like to say is I don't recall hearing about or seeing such statements.
Do you believe that every president should make a commitment, unequivocally and resolutely, to the peaceful transfer of power?
Well, Senator, that seems to me to be pulling me in a little bit into this question of whether the president has said that he would not peacefully leave office. And so to the extent that this is a political controversy right now, as a judge, I want to stay out of it, and I don't want to express a view on...
Are you able to commit to recuse yourself from disputes that arise out of the 2020 presidential election?
Senator Leahy, I commit to you to fully and faithfully applying the law of recusal, but I can't offer a legal conclusion right now about the outcome of the decision I would reach.
Do you agree with this particular point of Justice Scalia's view that the U.S. Constitution does not afford gay people the fundamental right to marry?
I can't, and I'm sorry to not be able to embrace or disavow Justice Scalia's position, but I really can't do that on any point of law.
But when asked whether or not the president has any authority to unilaterally deny that right to vote for a person based on race or even gender, are you saying you can't answer that question?
Senator, I just referenced the 14th and 15th Amendments, the same one that you just repeated back to me, that do prohibit discrimination on the basis of race in voting. So as I said, I don't know how else I can say it, the Constitution contains provisions that prohibit discrimination on the basis of race in voting.
But whether a president can unilaterally deny, you're not going to answer yes or no.
Well, Senator, you've asked a couple different questions about what the president might be able to unilaterally do, and I think that I really can't say anything more than I'm not going to answer hypotheticals.
My question, however, is do you agree with Chief Justice Roberts, who said voting discrimination still exists? No one doubts that. Do you agree with that statement?
Senator Harris, I will not comment on what any justice said in opinion, whether an opinion is right or wrong, or endorse that proposition.
Do you agree with Justice Scalia's assertion that the Voting Rights Act is a, quote, perpetuation of racial entitlement, end quote?
Senator Feinstein, I don't obviously know what Justice Scalia was thinking when he said that. And any characterization of the Voting Rights Act or a statement like that is simply really not something I can opine on.
I would be afraid to ask her about the presence of gravity on Earth. She may decline to answer because it may come up in a case. You know, it could come before the court someday.